Okay, great. I'll call and confirm. Thank you.
As Pat Robertson's personal assistant, Gigi Conklin has heard many stories of God's protection. Now, she has a story of her own. On May 1st, 2010, Gigi and her husband Chuck were out for a motorcycle ride in Elizabeth City, North Carolina.
We pulled out onto this beautiful section of the road.
I usually lead the way, but this time she went ahead of me.
Unknown to either of them, the windshield on Gigi's bike was defective, and at 70 miles per hour, it shattered.
So I glanced over into the rearview mirror and realized that I had a gash in my forehead, obviously right down to the bone. All of this blood from the injuries on my face were suddenly coming down into my face, and it was like looking through an opaque piece of red silk. I couldn't see anything.
Amazingly, Gigi didn't crash.
I aimed for where I thought I was heading to. The bike just floated. I was on the bike and we floated.
Gigi stopped on the shoulder as Chuck pulled off ahead of her.
I turned back to her to talk to her, and that's when I realized there was a problem. I grabbed her phone and called 911.
And I started praying, and I did. I had that feeling of, you know, am I gonna die? And as soon as I said that, that went away, and I had this sense of overwhelming peace. And I had that assurance that, no, this might be okay.
EMS Noelle Falcon responded to the call.
I noticed that there was some arterial bleed coming from her forehead. I needed to get her to the hospital as fast as I could.
Gigi was rushed to Albemarle Hospital, where doctors worked to stop the bleeding.
As different people would pass into the room, I started hearing murmurings of bleeding out. My husband started to call. He called my boss, and he called my family.
And I said, I need your prayers. You know, I told him what happened.
Hours later, doctors were able to slow the bleeding. They gave her a transfusion and sent her to another hospital, where she was stitched up by a plastic surgeon.
We thought that I was in the clear at that point. So the doctor helped me up, and all of a sudden, I turned around to say something to her, and the words wouldn't come out. And the room filled with people.
Gigi's blood pressure had dropped to a critical level.
And that was when I really got concerned. I mean, very, very concerned about her life. I said, Lord, don't take her from me.
Doctors were able to stabilize Gigi quickly, and within hours, she was cleared to go home. It was there, looking into a mirror for the first time, that she knew it wasn't luck that saved her.
I looked in the mirror, looked at the bandages, and I thanked God because I knew He had had His hand of protection on me. I knew He brought me through it.
EMS Falcon can't explain how she avoided a serious, potentially fatal accident.
The thing that surprised me was she was able to bring the motorcycle to a stop, not fall off.
I can't prove anything. The only thing I can say is, look at Gigi, look at what she went through. I just know He answered prayer.
After several years and surgeries, the scars are faint, but noticeable. But for Gigi, that's okay, because like all scars, they tell a story.
They're a reminder not of a horrible accident, but they're a reminder that God had His hand on me, His hand of protection. And He's always there. And I'm so grateful.